Well, Walker County, Alabama is back at it. There have been more indictments in the Tony Mitchell case. If you aren't familiar with Tony's case, you can get caught up on it with the episodes I have in the Tony Mitchell playlist, and I'll leave that link in the description. As a brief recap, Tony was murdered by jail staff at the Walker County Jail in Jasper, Alabama. His family had called police because Tony was having a mental health crisis, and once he was in jail, they refused to get him mental health treatment. They refused him medical treatment until it was too late. They abused him, forced him to lie on a cold concrete floor, and didn't allow him to wear clothing. Tony died of hypothermia on January 26, 2023. Multiple members of jail staff and 2 sheriff's deputies have already been indicted in Tony's death, and this week we've got some more. 6 more members of jail staff have been indicted. Captain Arcelia Tidwell and correctional officers Dayton Lane Wakefield, Robert Morgan Madison, Daniel Eugene Vickery, who was a supervisor, Richard Douglas Holtzman, and Jacob Lee Edwards. I'm not going to read all 14 pages of the indictment, but I'll hit the highlights. The indictment begins with what happened to Tony, but since I've covered that in other episodes, I won't repeat it. There are also 4 assaults listed in the indictment. One detainee was given free world food for acting as an enforcer at the jail. Tidwell and Holtzman paid the enforcer with food for assaulting another detainee. Wakefield and Holtzman then lied in sentencing court on behalf of their hatchet man, testifying under oath that he, quote, has shown 0 signs of aggression and has been a model inmate. I mean, considering the caliber of these jailers, I think their enforcer probably was a model inmate for them. Their food in exchange for assault program was going on from September 2022 until February 2023. In November 2022, one detainee escaped, and on being returned to the jail, he was physically assaulted by Holtzman and Vickery, which ended with the detainee's face bleeding. On January 9, 2023, Holtzman assaulted another detainee to the point of breaking bones in his face. And on January 12, 2023, Wakefield assaulted another detainee by punching him in his face until it bled. I think all of these jailers have some major anger and control issues and some very, very minor appendages. This is absolutely horrible. These are people in jail. Most of them haven't even been convicted yet. They're in jail waiting for their trial and getting assaulted by guards with anger issues and some asshat who can be paid in Twinkies and Doritos to assault people, or whatever free world food he was getting. There are also 5 members of the medical staff indicted this week. Alicia Heron, Patricia Hammonds, Bradley Allred, Jamie Johnson, and Dana Blackwood McMillan were charged with conspiracy against rights and deprivation of rights related to the death of Tony Mitchell. Some of the medical staff works for Quality Correctional Healthcare Incorporated, which is contracted to provide medical care at the jail. QCHC was founded by Johnny E. Rusty Bates, and I think I might have to have an episode about old untrusty Rusty. QCHC has been named in more than a few lawsuits, including one brought against them by Tony Mitchell's family, and I think Rusty might be a bit of a kook. Speaking of lawsuits, Tony Mitchell's family settled their lawsuit against Walker County for an undisclosed amount. They are still proceeding with their lawsuit against Quality Correctional Healthcare, though. This week's indictments bring the total number against Walker County staff members to 25. Good job, Nick Smith. I'll bet that has to be some kind of record. Let's listen to what Slick Nick had to say about the recent indictments. Okay, let's listen to what Nick Smith's attorney had to say about the recent indictments. Well, at least they're both on the same page. There is no way that Jail Administrator Justin White and Sheriff Nick Smith didn't know what was happening in the jail. There's just no way. The abuse seems to be too rampant to have been hidden from those in charge. I wonder if those 2 bozos can feel the FBI closing in on them. They're getting closer, boys. That heat you feel on your neck isn't just the Alabama sun. That's the hot breath of FBI agents. They are corralling the underlings before they get to the dictators. Stay tuned for another exciting adventure of Walker County is wild, y'all. Until then, stay safe and be happy.